What's going on, everyone? It's Steve here, and it is a Friday in California. Beautiful 75-degree day in November. So I thought we would take us out on one of my favorite rides, and it has been 10 years. Let's go. All right, we are backing up here, getting ready to get out of the house. Yeah, it is like unseasonably warm right now. All right, everyone, it's Friday, and it is unseasonably warm right now. Beautiful. I think that this is just normal for California, though, but this is why our housing prices are so high. But it's Friday, and so I thought I'm going out and going to go out for a ride on this beautiful day and pick up some boba for my family, because if you live in the Deng household, Friday is what we call Boba Fridays, and every Friday afternoon after school, we head out, pick up some boba, hang out as a family, and then get ready to kick off the weekend. So we're going to do a little bit of a ride today. I'm going to take us through Silver Creek Road, which is kind of nice, twisty road for a little bit. Nice flowing road I like a lot. And then we'll come down to Silver Creek and we'll stop at one of my favorite boba places. Pick up a boba and then head on out. But man, what a beautiful day today. Alright, so I thought on this ride, one of the things I could do is share what life has been like for the past 10 years of living without a stomach. And my updates come further and further apart, because for me, life really just kind of went back to normal. I went back to work, and I have full days, and today most people can't even tell I had stomach cancer or anything like that. Every once in a while somebody notices if they know, like, problems with my blood sugar and such, but for the most part, if you're out and about and you didn't know my story, you wouldn't know I've gone through anything. So pretty cool stuff. Alright, so as we're out for a ride and we're stopped here, I thought I might give a bit of an update on the past 10 years of life without a stomach. And in honor of Stomach Cancer Awareness Month, I think it's a great time to give an update. As you guys know, about 10 years ago, I got diagnosed with a gene mutation called CDH1, which leads to a form of stomach cancer called hereditary diffuse gastric cancer. And at the time in 2014, not a ton was known about it. Still pretty new, still pretty small community. And so I went online and started finding some blogs, and found 2 or 3 blogs that were helpful for me. So one was a woman named Marnie, who is amazing, and she was talking about life without a stomach and how she kind of recovered her life, being able to get back to being really active. She was a big runner at the time, and really, really cool. Really inspired me to kind of not think about life without a stomach as the end of life, but really just a different kind of life. And so over the past 10 years, really learning how to do everything like eating and drinking and staying active and all of that stuff. So there's so many things to kind of cover, but maybe one of the things I'll do to kind of cover it is to talk a little bit about some of the most common questions I get, which is about eating. And straight up, I'll just tell you right now, eating for me is almost basically back to normal. Most people who are out with me, out and about, having dinner with me or whatever, can't even tell that I don't have a stomach. Every once in a while, I eat something that doesn't quite go down right, because it's either too dry or, it's like too chunky. I didn't chew it well enough, and I try and swallow it, and then my intestines are like, no way, man, you gotta try again. And I'll kind of spit that back up, but that's way fewer and far between these days. So that's some of the issues. As far as diet goes, my diet is actually pretty normal now. The only thing I really still try to be careful of eating is like vegetables that are kind of uncooked. So, like, I still don't eat kale. I don't know if anyone actually likes to eat kale, but people do that. And I try not to eat like raw carrots if I can help it, but honestly, even then, not many issues anymore when it comes to raw vegetables and such. So totally fine with that. As far as meats, one of the fun things that I kind of discovered is that meats that are a little bit undercooked are actually easier for me to digest. Like steaks and such, I eat rare. Like if you're a chef, like around 126 or 131 degrees, somewhere in there. And I do way better on steak that is rare than steak that is cooked. If it's too cooked, it's too dry, and I'll still have major problems eating steak that is too dry. So for my family, we like to eat steak probably the way that you should eat steak and such, which is a little bit on the rare side. But it was kind of cool because I didn't eat red meat for about 3 years or so, because red meat was just giving me some major issues. And chicken, I had to be really careful with chicken, because if the chicken was too dry, like as chicken breast often is, I would have to kind of like cook it to 150 or so, which, even though online and such they tell you that you should be eating chicken at 165, I found that that temperature was just way too dry for me to actually swallow. But besides that, all the fish, no big deal. Come up with these motorcyclists here, pretty fun. Alright, so we're making my turn in San Jose here. Love living in this city. I've traveled quite a bit actually in the past 10 years, especially my job now. I work at a school, and some of my work involves going and visiting our alumni when they're in college, and so I've been in dozens and dozens of towns, visited dozens and dozens of colleges, and I'll tell you what, man, I've seen some beautiful places, in New York, Boston, Chicago a bunch, Arizona, Texas, Colorado, Seattle, Washington, all those different places I've been to kind of around the country. And I'll tell you what, there really is no place like home. Every time I'm out there, as fun as I love traveling and I love seeing the Midwest, and I love places where a lot of ex-Californians are, which is like, Nashville, Tennessee and such. Beautiful places, love visiting, a lot of fun, but the reality is I love living in the Bay, love coming back home to the Bay, and this is where it's at for me. Which kind of brings me back to like kind of my normal point, is that I still get to do a lot of the things I did before while I had a stomach. I still travel a bit, love going on vacations. The only thing that I really am affected by when I travel a lot is the gas pressure. When you go up in an airplane, there's low pressure, and those long flights across to the East Coast, or like internationally, like 10 hours or so, that's when I really start to feel it. Like it feels like all the gas pressure kind of builds up in my intestines, and I'm pretty uncomfortable in that. But when I land, 2, 3, 4 days, and usually by then I'm back to normal, and so it is so it's all good in that regard. Alright, we're about to hit one of my favorite stretches of road here. Driving up the hill. Alright, I'm gonna be quiet and concentrate so I don't die, alright? Beautiful stretch of road. Try to get around this guy here. Oh, it's fun. Just a few turns, get it out of your system. All the leaves are starting to change here. Pretty cool. But one of the things that I do have to admit though is, there's still some issues that I have that are still pretty annoying. So one of the issues that I find that's still annoying in my life is I struggle with blood sugar. So I have to watch my carb intake and look at my glycemic load, because what happens is my blood sugar will spike and then my body will give me insulin, and because I don't have anything to really catch it, my insulin will drop my blood sugar, which makes you feel terrible. But I find that if I have a little bit of sugar with a fat, like with some peanut butter, so if I have like some candy with some peanut butter or some honey or anything like that, then usually I'm okay and I'm able to, kind of balance myself out okay. The other issue that's kind of annoying that I have to deal with is I still have bowel obstructions. Those are just part of the complications of having 2 surgeries and having med students kind of be the ones who were stitching me up and using too many staples to staple me up, and so my intestines, where it goes into my esophagus, is still not moving as well as it should be. But that kind of is annoying, but that's just part of life, and I usually control that with some meds, relaxing and trying to drink something warm so that I can kind of get whatever is stuck to go through. So working on that a little bit. Alright, and the last thing that I find probably the most annoying, and probably the thing that I don't know if I'll ever get over because it's just so frustrating, and that is I get bile reflux. And so because when they remove your stomach, they kind of get rid of all the sphincters that keep all of your stomach acids and juices, and specifically bile, from coming up while you're laying down or while you're hanging out. Is I just get a lot of bile reflux, and so what that feels like is this burning kind of in your chest and in your throat, and at night, if I'm laying down too flat, what ends up happening is in the middle of the night I'll just kind of like throw that stuff up a little bit, and then I'll breathe it in, and then I'll give myself chemical pneumonia. And frankly, that is one of the most annoying things that I have to deal with when you don't have a stomach. So still a few things that can be a little bit frustrating, but overall I'm grateful just to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive. Are there annoying things I have to deal with? Absolutely. But the reality is, things could have been so different for me. I think about my dad passing away, younger than 40, and my sister passing away in her 20s. And I think about my kids and how young they are and what that was like for me growing up, and not having a dad around because of stomach cancer. And man, as I think about it now, I got annoying things to deal with, but I'm grateful, really grateful for life. So that's basically it. All right, Boba Friday. Let's head in, get some boba. All right, you know how I said I love living in the Bay Area? Here's one thing I hate about living in the Bay Area. There's so much traffic. I mean, it's not like LA traffic, because LA traffic is like a whole nother animal. All day long, 24/7, no breaks. But after traveling all throughout the country, I do find that the traffic in the Bay Area is pretty annoying. But I think everyone would agree that traffic is annoying no matter where you live. Alright everyone, so I'm on my way back, almost home from picking up boba. And if you live in our house, Boba Fridays are so special, because we just hang out on the couch, sip some boba, make some dinner, hang out as a family, and it's one of my favorite things that we do ever, just savor those little moments. And I think if there is just one message I can leave everyone for this Stomach Cancer Awareness Month, 10 years without a stomach, 10 years since I was diagnosed with hereditary diffuse gastric cancer, it would be just that, man. Enjoy the little things, because life really is precious, and there's a lot of things that we worry about, but the reality is the most important things, sometimes you don't realize what those important things are until, your life gets turned upside down. But it is a gift when you recognize that. The other thing too, man, is thinking about the community and the people who've supported me along the way, my family, my church, my faith community, my work, my friendships, all those people who really took the time to encourage me when things are tough. And I realized that the reality is sometimes you need to be picking others up, encouraging them, and sometimes you need to be humble enough to let others pick you up. And that is part of the journey and part of life. And so with that, that's 10 years without a stomach. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. If you like these videos, let me know. I'll try and make some more. But if you want to support the research and the work that is being done by No Stomach for Cancer and Debbie's Dream Foundation, go ahead and click on the link below, and we'd love to get your support. Grace and peace, everyone.